Hello, guys. Welcome back to the Chelsea Godfather channel. Please subscribe to my channel for regular Chelsea updates. Guys, while we've been busy dreaming about the possibility of Moises Caicedo joining the Chelsea midfield, we just got a bombshell news today released by none other than David Ornstein, who basically informed us that it appears that Chelsea has reached personal terms agreement with Mohamed Kudus. That's the Ghanaian, winger slash attacking midfielder who currently applies his trade for Ajax FC from the Dutch Eredivisie. So that's I mean that news came out of nowhere because in as much as we sold off Mason Mount and Kai Havertz, obviously there's a bit of a void in terms of experienced attacking players. I mean, we do have talented attacking players, but they're mostly young, with the exception of Raheem, Sterling and Nkunku. Everybody else is like 20, 21 years or younger. But then that's not to say that Kudus is any much older, because he's only 22 years old himself. But for me, I mean, I'm quite excited about the possibilities of Kudus joining Chelsea. Obviously, we don't know we don't know if this deal is going to happen or whether it's not going to happen. But I mean, this news literally came out of nowhere. Personal terms are being discussed and pretty much have just about been wrapped up. So if that's really where things lie with that, in as much as the deal with Caicedo has dragged on and on and on, that's a whole kind of warms with Brighton, greedy Brighton. You already know how Brighton rolls, trying to squeeze every last dollar. But Ajax and the general market in terms of transfer dealings, right? It doesn't go, it doesn't generally drag on that long. Clubs have a general idea in terms of reasonable transfer fee. And so once they have a sort of meeting of the minds of what a fair transfer fee is going to be, then it's just about the club and the player then meeting up and reaching an agreement on personal terms. So that way, once that side of the deal is done, then both clubs can then go back to the negotiating table and tidy up the little nuances of the the final transfer fee. So this one looks like it's. This has a better chance of happening than Caicedo. And if you ask me, do we need this player? You damn right we need this player. There's other things that's possibly pushing this deal, because as we are also were informed, the fact that Armando BROJA was left behind in London. He's not part of the U.S. tour. And we were sort of under the understanding that perhaps he's given extra time to rehab and to not overstress his legs coming back from that long injury layoff. But it turns out that the player himself, Broya, may not be totally settled, given the fact that we bought Nicholas Jackson So he's obviously jumped in front of BROJA on the in the pecking order. We have Kunku that can play, nine or false nine or whatever the heck, you want to call it. So that's, one of the player that he's, concerned about. And, then on the flip side, you have West Ham that actually tried to buy him last summer. And it appears that they still have an interest in buying him looking to see whether a deal can be done this summer. So there's a possibility that, Breuer, may be sold. If he's sold, then, then I'll be a third player. So, now you're talking Mason Mount, Kai Harris, Breuer out. Yeah, then, you at some point you have to, balance the outgoings with coming players. And Kudus, fits the description for me. Now, what type of player is he? I see him as a younger version of, just think about Sadio Mane when he was much younger. When he was young, just full of energy, skill, work rate, physical. I mean, that's what I see from Kudus, and I've seen him grow from strength to strength. I've obviously my you guys already know my background as a my Nigerian background. So I've watched the Ghana national team play against the Super Eagles for multiple years, and I've watched him play over the years, and I definitely watched pretty much all of Ghana's World Cup games, and Kudus was pretty much like their best player. I mean, it is what it is. Now, of course, it doesn't always, when you're playing wide. When you're playing like a wide midfield role or wing role, or even if you're playing an attacking midfield role, then your productivity is not always going to show on the stat sheet, and so sometimes, especially when you're young, it could take time to add that to your game. But notwithstanding, last season, Kudus did score 11 goals from, I think, 30 or so games at Ajax. He had another 2 or 3 assists. So I would definitely like to see his assists. I'm not concerned about his goals, but his assist stats seems to be a little bit low. So that I would definitely like to see that go up. But overall, I mean, he's young, he's quick. He's likes to dribble. I mean, he's very pacey. He's a very good dribbler. He has a lot of energy. His work rate. He's gonna work hard for his team. He's just like what is a coach's dream. And so, if the numbers check out and everything works out nicely, yeah, I say that there's a nice space for Mohamed Kudus in Chelsea's first team under Pochettino. He's definitely Pochettino type player, without a doubt. Without a doubt. So, guys, let's you keep our fingers crossed and see how this one goes. Some folks are out there moaning and crying, talking about Rayan. Shirky. They'd rather have Shirky. But I mean, guys, it is what it is. I mean, I'm not one that gets overly sort of swayed by dribbles and whatnot. Masturbatory type dribbles that I mean, I'm like, for you to impress me, you have to be like Eden Hazard, who can dribble with intent and with purpose, and put the numbers up, and that's different level. That's a different level. You're really asking for a lot. I'm not saying that Shirky can't be that type of player, or he's not that type of player. But what I am saying is that, um, you know, given everything, and also I think part of the consideration with Shirky is Leon. I don't think Leon is even ready to even sell him like right now. I mean, based on reports, they're not really necessarily hungry to to sell Shirky. So it was almost as if you find yourself in another Caicedo type deal where you have a club that's not hungry to sell their players, so you now have to do more than you normally have to do to try and muscle the player away from that club. And so that may be the situation with Shirky, on top of the fact that in terms of who's a better fit for a fast-paced, physical, Premier League. For me, if I had to take a wild guess, my guess is, Kudus will be a better fit. So, guys, how do you feel about Kudus, a possible rival at Chelsea? Please like this video, share this video, and subscribe.